Welcome to this week's episode of The 8. As you can see, I have a new co-host this week, Mr. Brian Jager.
Hello.
Who wants you to poke him.
Yeah, please poke me on Facebook. We're bringing it back. # bring back the poke.
That's going to be totally normal when you search that.
Yep.
This is The 8.
Yeah.
All right. So we're just going to go ahead and get started after that weird little... So, fantastic. So there's obviously a lot that goes into buying a franchise, but there is some fantastic news. So there's also a lot that you might think that matters that doesn't. So we spoke with Sean, who we all know and love. He kind of walks through some things that we don't really need to think about, or I guess I'm not really planning on buying a franchise. You're buying a franchise now.
Yes.
But things like if you need a franchise broker or franchising experience, there are some things that you actually don't have to worry about throughout the process.
Yeah, I like that he touched on the fact that you don't need to be an expert in the industry or somebody who has amazing background. That I think that is always the fear of the unknown keeps people from doing it, but that's the whole point of the franchise model,
Right.
is people who know what's successful tell you how to do it. And a lot of times I feel like if you have too much experience in a different model, going into a franchise might cause some friction if you expect things to go a certain way and the model is different from that. I know that there's been heads that have been bumped when that is the case, so sometimes ignorance is bliss and can lead to financial success as well.
So true.
Yeah.
All right, Fran Leberty. So our Fran Leberty this week is Eric Guess, who is the Director of Sales for Exec Leads. So he's breaking down something that we've talked about a lot on the 8 and a lot that we talk about here at 1851, but outdated lead generation tactics. Some things that just aren't working anymore. I feel like all of this...
running after people and just screaming at them to buy a franchise?
I mean, you could try it.
Or like attaching it to an arrow and shooting at them?
Yeah, there you go. Very old school carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
But he kind of talks about some things that you might want to consider. Obviously, to no one's surprise, if you're not already doing anything digital, get on it. You're probably not selling franchises if you're not doing that yet. But there are just some things that could be left in the past just in terms of, I don't know. I think it really is just digital. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, so basically the moral story is if you're not on digital, you should be on digital and should have been on digital probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing like a Guggenheim printing press like franchise where
Way old school.
Yeah.
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 All right. Cool. Frash Money. So KFC, I feel like normally when we talk about them on the 8, it's because they've done some type of ad stunt. Yeah.
Okay.
This isn't quite this though. So they're making a move. I would expect that it's going to cost them a ton of French money.
Is that, did they hire Sean to be the next colonel, but specifically in the city of Cincinnati?
Oh, I would love that so much, Sean. We'll reach out on your behalf.
We'll get you the bolo tie or
yeah.
bolo tie?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
But they made a pledge to eliminate all non-recoverable or non-reusable plastic-based packaging from their products system-wide globally by 2025. So like containers, lids, bags, cutlery, that's going to be a lot of things that have to be replaced.
Yep.
Franchisees are going to be able to like weigh in terms of their own market-specific strategy if they want throughout all of this, but I think it's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're kind of at the place where you have to do that, or else. I mean,
Right.
it's a simple thing to do, but that's where the entire industry is going. I will say this: as long as they don't have those cardboard straws,
Oh, I know.
please, for love of God, don't go cardboard straws. Cardboard and straw should never be in the same word.
No.
Maybe if you don't do plastic, find another alternative.
Yeah.
Or like sell branded KFC like chicken straws or something like that that you can bring back.
They already have their own line of merch. They might as well just add it.
Yeah. Make people buy their straws and get like free drinks for a year. Bring in your straw, you get free drinks.
Oh.
Use this. Be creative with it, KFC. Come on.
We have so many good ideas on the show that we just...
Sean as the Colonel is mine.
That's
Personal
for sure
favorite.
the best idea
Yeah.
we've ever had. Yeah. Or you've ever had. So, Franch of the Week, again, Nick isn't here to defend his own column, but I'm going to go ahead and interpret it for him. So
Standing in for Nick.
Yep, just doing what I do. So, it's kind of a question if anyone is still keeping up with their New Year's resolutions. I feel like by now, I think I read a study earlier today that 80% of people fall off by February, which is pretty sad when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But his column is all about the fact that the beginning of the year isn't the only time that you can actually set a goal for yourself. And in fact,
Wait, it's not? If you
No.
miss that and you fall off the
Yeah,
wagon,
it's
then
like,
just
it's
wait
2020.
till the next year.
It's like that college mentality of like, I'll start writing the paper at 7:01, like 8 it is, you know, like.
Wait, you still don't do that in your professional life now?
No, I think it's.
certainly do.
So yeah, basically just talking about having the hustle, making sure that you're constantly setting goals, and the year, you know, it's gonna fly. It's already February by the time that this is out in a newsletter, so.
Yeah, I had 2 weddings in the month of January and all other things, so I said 2019 starts in February for me this year.
True.
And if I fall off the wagon by March 26th, well, March 27th, you can always start again.
So true.
So, yeah, New Year's resolutions are kind of a dumb thing.
Agreed. There's no, I mean.
Like, the calendar's man-made,
True.
so there's nothing really saying that date and 365 days. Yeah.
Start anew.
The new sun has,
Yeah, good point. All right, franching forward. So the industry is continuing to franch forward. Also, so is news surrounding next year's presidential election, 2020.
Oh, we're getting political.
Oh, we're getting
show.
political.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, not really. But this week, former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz announced that he was considering running as an independent, and there has been some criticism just in the event that it would split a vote. But he doesn't seem to care. So he's still thinking about moving forward with it. Interesting. I personally would find it hilarious to see him in a debate. So
I think
go for it. But
what I want to see is I want to see the heads of every major U.S. company throw their hat in the ring, and about 50 celebrities. So every debate is about 200 people, but they're all either reality show stars or CEOs of companies. They're all people know, and like we vote in an American Idol style way where you text
nice,
in.
you dial in.
Let's just, if we're gonna go this direction, let's just embrace it. Let's just become that.
Yeah.
Because that would be amazing to see CEOs battling with like Kato Kalin if he wins Big Brother this season.
I know who that is.
Oh, the white Bronco.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Before my time.
Yeah, OJ.
Yeah, I was like 3.
Yeah, me too. Totally.
All right, Fran Funny.
Why did the chicken not cross the road?
Why?
Because it's a polar vortex, and if it did, it was outside and exposed to the cold that we're going to experience in Chicago over the next 2 days, it could die in 5 minutes.
Help us. We're cold.
And you don't want frozen chicken. That's why they always say fresh, never frozen at all the chicken brands, because they don't let them out during polar vortexes.
Smart moves.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
For inspiration. So this comes from a franchisee. His name is David, I'm sorry if I'm going to butcher this, Muirhead. He's with Pool Scouts and Grout Medic. So he says, when I started my first franchise, it was throw a bunch of money at it and grow it as quickly as possible. But when you do things like that, you don't have the people in place and you can waste a lot of money. So
That's very wise.
it is.
Yeah, you need infrastructure to make that company work.
That you do.
Yeah.
All right. This one isn't really franchising related, but I just thought that it was interesting.
Okay.
So I'm good. Brian's like, great, going off script. So the Sweetheart Valentine's candies. They're
Ugh.
I know, right? They're super gross. But
Are you talking about like the chalk?
Yeah, the
Okay,
chalk
yeah.
essentially with the little like be mine on it.
The ones that you had to be careful, you didn't give like a love you
Yeah.
to like the nerdy girl that you didn't
Yeah.
like in class, and you'd
Yeah.
be like real bold and give the love you to the crush that you
Yeah.
had. Or the opposite, you'd be like, I can't give them that. They'll know
Right.
how I feel. So it's like, you know, but the be mine was always like the most aggressive one, because it's like, I want to own you.
It was a very direct statement.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but the company behind it went out of business. Yeah, so they're not going to be a thing this year. Like, you can't buy conversation hearts.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure there will be, like, off-brand ones.
Yeah,
Honestly,
there's-
they probably would survive a polar vortex or apocalypse. They're like cockroaches. They just live on shelves.
They taste terrible.
I know.
That's not even It's like Necco wafers. It's not
I think it was like
candy.
this. I think it's that company, like parent company, that they were just
Okay.
like really, yeah.
Yep.
They never caught on to the whole like flavor thing. But there's another company that's going to try to bring it back by 2020. So if you're one of the few fans that still likes them, but I just thought it was interesting.
Oh, they're trying to come back by 2020?
Yeah, but we'll
How?
have a Spangler Candy Co. I think it's going to be another one that's going to reboot.
Just go out of business.
I know, they're
Yeah.
gross.
I don't want you to be mine. Go away. We've evolved. We have better candy. There's like 30 Snickers flavors.
Right.
Adapt or die.
That was the title of, or I think it was like Innovation or Die or something on a slide that I watched today, so it's
very
very
nice,
apropos.
yeah.
All right, this is our weird episode of the 8. Thanks for watching if you stuck around with us this
We still
long.
live, Mary? How are my pokes doing?
Well, Sean commented poke.
Oh, okay.
Sean!
Well, there you go. Hey, Sean.
There you go.
We gotta fit you for that Colonel outfit.
Yeah, we're ready for it. It's happening. We've already started pitching.
Yeah, all the major trades are doing interviews with you next week. You gotta work on that Kentucky accent.